Hey, how's it going? My name is Saad. Last month, I've made over $100,000 with 85% margins building instant sales systems for a variety of companies from six figures, seven figures, all the way to eight figures. In this video, I'm going to show you how to build a fully automated sales system that connects doctors with medical marketing agencies. Now, you might be wondering, why are we doing this, Saad? Well, the idea is very simple. Most doctors only rely on referrals, word of mouth. Sometimes they run ads, but ads are very expensive. So what we can do is we can build sales systems for them that connects them with marketing agencies that specifically work with doctors. So what we can do is we can help them with their patient acquisition. Now you might be wondering, Saad, how did you find this niche? Well, the idea is again, very simple.
Well, AI and prompts are your best friend. You could say, hey, what is the dream end result? Any niche or that niche that you are looking to target, they want in regards of generating new revenue. Do they use any specific keywords, lingo when speaking about that end result? And it's gonna help you in your market research. Okay, so essentially what we're doing is we are using a straightforward scraper of Apify. If you guys don't know what Apify is, so Apify is a platform where you can basically scrape data off the internet. And all I had to do is look for a scraper, which was Google Map Business Scraper. So if I look up this scraper, I'm gonna find multiple ones, and the one I would recommend you guys use is this one, Google Maps Business Scraper. So I just clicked on it and I clicked on try for free. So now I can basically just start scraping. So you have a couple things here. You have the keyword and the location. So you can type in whatever keyword you want. So in my case, I would just type in doctor. So just doctor. And then in terms of location, you can put whatever location you want. I just put New York. And then when you click on save and start, you're going to have like a result such as this. So if I go to my runs, I can see that I successfully scraped a bunch of data. So the business name, the phone, the website. We don't have their email, but I'm going to show you guys how to find the email, which is pretty easy. And then I have their address, the rating, the category, which is huge. We have the image URL, and also we have the working hours. So you can basically personalize this further if you want. And then essentially I went to make.com and I just built the system that basically takes in this data right here. So this data, and then retrieves that data, pings another platform such as an email finder to find emails basically. And then I'm sending that data, and I'm going to explain to you why I'm sending that data to another flow that catches that data. Basically like sending a ball, and the second flow catches that ball. And then it's parsing the data. And again, I'm going to explain to you why are we parsing the data. And then we're just using AI. I'm just using Google Gemini AI. You can essentially use any AI model you want. You can use OpenAI. You can use Claude. Shout out to someone in my community. It's called Nishal. He managed to come up with this idea of actually using Google Gemini, and it's extremely cheap. Shout out to you, my guy. You've been crushing it. So, and then we're basically cleaning the company name. And the reason why we're cleaning the company name using Gemini AI, basically, like I said, you can use any AI model. You can use Claude, Perplexity, whatever. The reason why we're cleaning the company name is we have a very weirdly named company name, which is, for lack of better words, when you scrape data, right? So when you scrape data off the internet, you're going to have basically data like this. So you're going to have Midtown, New York Doctors Urgent Care, New York Medicine Doctors, New York Medical, Midtown, Eager, whatever the hell that is. So what we're doing is we're feeding this data, which is going to be the website, the business name, and we're saying to AI, hey, based on this data, what would you think the company name is? Or what would you think someone who is human or someone who is actually trying to reach out to that potential doctor would call that company name, instead of saying, hey, I'm reaching out because I saw Midtown New York Doctors Urgent Care. Okay, so now once we clean up the company name, then we're generating a dream email. And if you're wondering what is a dream email, it's basically the following. So I'm just essentially writing a perfect email, and then I'm converting it into a template. And then I can essentially, that template, fill it with variables such as data that I'm going to get from Apify or basically the clean company name, whatever variables. It could be anything really. And then you just fill that template with those variables. And what are we doing here is, here's the copy. So hey, with this emoji right here. If you want to reach out to doctors, just use this. Trust me, you're gonna get responses because I've worked with many doctors and many marketing agencies that work specifically with doctors. So the copy is came across the results, which is came across the company name, the clean company name, and figured out reach out. We do have access to pre-vetted healthcare marketing agencies that specifically work with categories. So the category is urgent care center. So we want to say, hey, we do have access to pre-vetted healthcare marketing agencies that work specifically with urgent care centers, right? And then I'm adding the S and I'm explaining to you why. We can connect you directly with them to improve your patient flow, increase direct bookings without relying on expensive ads or referrals. Let me know if this is worth your time. No pressure, just an opportunity to explore how others in your space are growing their practices. So the reason why I added this S here, if you guys noticed here, so there is the category. So urgent care center, medical center, general practitioner. So I can essentially just urgent care centers. I can just add an S because the data is consistent. So this is why we're adding the S. And then if you're wondering why are we adding the lower? So lower, just a formula that takes in the category, which is the capitalized first letter, and just turns this into a lowercase, so urgent care center. So there you go. So this is how the system actually works. So now how do we actually build this from scratch so you can essentially learn from this video? Now I'm going to show you how. So I'm just going to go to make.com essentially. And then all I have to do is I'm going to create a new scenario. So you're going to hover to create new scenario, this purple button. And then you're going to click on this plus button again. And then you're going to look for Apify. So Apify. And then look for get dataset items. And then all you have to do once you scrape that data is you go back to runs. So it's going to be in runs here. So output, log, input, and storage. So storage is where the dataset ID, and the dataset ID is the most simplest terms is where the data is stored, which is basically the RAM of the scraper. And you're just going to have to click on this copy button right here. So copy to clipboard, and then you go back and you just paste that in here. So easy. You paste that in here. And then for the limits, just put 1, just because you want to retrieve 1 record at a time and play with it, fix it, see how the data is, and fine tune as you go. If you're wondering what this offset means, it's just the number of items to skip. So for example, if I just put 2 here and I want to retrieve 2, or let's just put 1, okay? I'm just going to put 1, click save, and I'm going to show you how the data is going to look. I'm going to click on run once. So I'm just going to get this data, which is business name, phone, etc. Basically in Make rather in Apify. And now, essentially, let's say I'm running through hundreds of operations or hundreds of leads that are getting enriched and validated. And I don't want to start from the beginning. So what I would do is I would just type in 2 and I would just skip 1. So offset just means the number of items to skip. So I'm just going to retrieve 2 and I'm going to skip the first one. So I'm just going to get the second one. So if I click save, I'm going to get the second one. So New York Medicine Doctors, which is this one here. If I go back to outputs, New York Medicine Doctors, okay? So this is what offset means. Anyways, so I'm just going to clean this up and I'm just going to get 1 and click save. Now, I have the business name, I have the website, I don't have the email, but I have the address, I have the category. Now, how do I get the email? So I'm going to use a platform called AnyMail Finder. And the way you're going to do that is you're going to go to anymailfinder.com. And the beauty about this platform is they only charge you per found verified email, which is huge. Such platforms such as Find the Email, for example, Find the Email, or for example, Hunter, they charge you per not found email. So let's say that you purchase a bunch of credits, such as I don't know, like 5,000 credits, and then you would try to use that. Even if they don't find the email, they're still gonna charge you for that 1 credit, which is stupid, right? So we're using AnyMail Finder. So once you give them your money, you're just gonna go to app, and you're gonna go to API, and you're just gonna expose your API key just like I did for the entire internet. And you're going to copy this and you want to go back. And then you're going to click on this plus button and you're going to look for an email finder. Easy. Anyone can do that. And then you're going to go to search for a company's email. Right? You're going to make sure you map in your connection by clicking on this add, paste in your API key, and just name in this whatever you want. YouTube, example, doctors, for example, and click save. Now, all you have to do is you hover into the search bar and you look for domain. And domain is going to be the domain that you just scraped. Click save. And then click save. And then I'm going to click on run once. And then there you go. I'm just going to see if there's an email. So, boom, we found 2 emails. So we're just going to pick one. So we have the first email right here and the second one. Now, since we found the email, what do we do with this, right? So we want to make sure we build a system that is fully scalable. Now, when you try to find email, sometimes you're running through hundreds, thousands of leads. Sometimes an email finder is going to give you some errors just because it takes like 2 to 3 seconds to find an email, right? So what we're doing is basically we're going to split this scenario in half just because make.com rate limit is 40 minutes. Now, 40 minutes is not a lot of time, especially if you're running through, let's say, 4,000 or 5,000 leads. You're going to get rate limited and the system is going to stop working just because it exceeded the 40 minutes in make.com of a one run-in scenario at once. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to send, this data to another flow that's going to continue, the next, what the system is going to do, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on this plus button and then I'm going to decide what I'm going to send. So all you have to do is you're going to look for HTTP. It's very easy. And it's going to be make a request. And then you're wondering, what should I put in this URL, Saad? Like, what is this method? I'm going to show you how to do it. So now, this is the first flow. So I'm going to name this get data from Apify and enrich send. Okay, so I'm just going to save this and then I'm going to go to scenarios and I'm going to create a new scenario. I'm going to go to scenarios and it's going to be the second one. Okay, so the part 2. So I'm going to go and click again, same thing, create a new scenario. And then all I have to do basically is look for something called a webhook. And what is a webhook? A webhook is basically a way to receive data. Right. That's the easiest way to explain this. Most people try to explain it in a hard way. It's just a way to receive data, right? It's kind of like a ball that you send to another, like your friend. Let's say you're playing football or whatever, soccer if you are an American. So you're going to click on custom webhook and then you're going to click on add and then you're just going to name this whatever you want. So I'm just going to name this doctor's callback. So it's a callback, right? And then click on show advanced settings. Trust me, it took me a long time to understand that I have to toggle this get requests HTTP method. I don't know why Make does this, but you have to do it for some reason. So click on get request headers, get request HTTP method, and JSON pass-through. Click yes and click save. Okay, now they're going to give you an address. So this is where the address is going to receive the data. So click on copy, go back to your first initial system, and then just send this here in the URL. And the method is going to be post because you're posting, you're sending. So post just means sending. Get, you're getting something from a make a request. And then head, I don't know. Put, you put in something. Delete is delete, and options I really don't know. So I'm just gonna I only use basically, and as a sales agency owner, and this is speaking from someone who makes 100K a month, operating as a sales agency owner, using Make every single day, and basically building systems that connect my clients with their ideal clients. You're only gonna use probably 30% of Make, right? In building these systems. Most of the features are just nerdy, theoretical bullshit that you do not need. And this is essentially what we do in this channel is what I teach is essentially building systems that actually make money rather than these bullshit, things that you do not need. It doesn't matter what you know. What matters is you use what you already know and make money with it. Okay. So I'm just going to use posts. Okay. And headers, just leave that empty. Body type is going to be raw. and the content type is going to be JSON, okay? And now we're just going to write some JSON. Now you do not need to be a coder. You can just use AI to do this. Honestly, I do it 9 times. I just use AI. But since the request is going to be easy, it's not going to be a lot of data. We're just going to write some JSON. So all you have to do is going to be, the first thing we're going to send is going to be the results of the email. So email. And the email is going to be what? The results, right? And then I'm going to send, I'm also going to send the domain. So the domain is going to be domain. And then I'm also going to send the business name. So the business name. I don't care about the phone number. Maybe in your case, you want a cold call. And the category. So it's going to be category. And then I'm going to send the category, which is category. And then I'm just going to close it. Okay? And click save. Save. And then let me save this again. Auto align this. And then I'm going to show you what I'm going to receive. So I'm going to click save here. And I'm just going to run this. First, let me save this first. And I'm going to click on run once. And then I'm just going to send this. And I'm going to receive it here. Now, this data is basically JSON. What I have to do is use another module. It's called JSON parser. It just structures the data. So look for JSON, and it's going to be parse JSON. Add this right here. And then let me just hard code this so you can see what type of data we're working with. So let me just copy this and essentially just paste this here, save. And I click on run this module only. I'm going to have email, domain, business name, category, beautifully formatted. Now, I want to clean up the company name. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to use Gemini. So look for Gemini, Google Gemini. And it's going to be create a completion. How the hell do you get Gemini? So just type in Gemini AI and then API key. And the cool part about this is they give you a free API key, which is awesome. So you go and click on Get a Gemini API. And then you're just going to create an API key and just copy it. So I'm just going to create a new API key. My Gemini API key, create API in existing projects. And I'm going to say, hey, create API key. So I'm just going to copy this. Again, I'm exposing it for the entire internet, which you do not want to do. And click add and just paste in the API key and you click save. Now I already have it. I do not need to do it. I'm going to hover to AI model. I'm just going to use Gemini 1.0 Pro. Add message, click on add item. Role is going to be always user. Parts is going to be message text, which is going to be text. And then for the text, essentially we're going to use a company name formatter. Now, company name formatter, so I'm just going to go to my community and we have a plug and play prompt that essentially everyone can use. So all I have to do is I'm going to go to classroom, resource library, and we have a prompt for everything, basically. Like a prompt for prompts. We even have a prompt for a prompt. Like, who the hell does this? Okay, so let me look for company name formatter. I'm just going to copy this. Company name formatter. Copy, go back, and then, sorry guys, I'm going to answer everyone in the community. It's going to seem like I'm online. I'm just recording, okay? Shout out to you guys. I love you. And then I'm going to go to normalize the company name. So the company name is going to be the business name. By focusing on its most distinctive and memorable elements, as it's may be reflected in the company domain. So I'm just going to put in the domain, and I'm just going to delete everything else. And then boom, and that's pretty much it. I think, no, we have to go to show advanced settings, and just for the max output tokens, just put 750. You do not have to put a lot. Okay, so now if I try this, for example, I'm just going to copy this business name, and then I'm just going to run this only. And then actually, let me not just do that. Yeah, let me not just do that. Let me show you guys how the output is going to be. So I'm just going to run this, and I'm going to send the request. Okay, look at the results. So New York doctors. So now it looks good, okay? Now all I have to do is click on this plus button and look for tools. Now I'm going to generate my dream email. So I'm going to go set variable. And I already have the copy ready, so I'm just going to copy it for ease of use and sanity. Go back. And then we're going to remap this. So variable name is going to be dream email. And then we do have access to blah, blah, blah. hey, etc., etc. And then the result is gonna be the result here, hey result, and then start. And then I'm just gonna add my signature sent from my phone and click save. Now, okay, I have this email address. Sorry, I have this copy. Now, what do I do with it? How can I reach out to these people? Now, let me show you how to reach out to these people. But first of all, let's see the output. I'm just gonna click on run once again, and I'm just gonna send the request. So run once, I'm gonna send it here. I'm generating the cold email basically, and then hey, came across New York doctors urgent care and figured I reach out. We do have access to blah 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 urgent care centers, etc., etc. Okay, so we validated the system works. So I'm gonna click on this plus button, and then I'm gonna look for Instantly. And Instantly is basically a cold email software. And if you've been living under a rock, you do not know what Instantly is. Let me explain to you. So you essentially can just use Instantly to send emails at scale. You can send thousands of emails per day. And you can just basically close those deals pretty easily. So I'm just gonna go to login. I'm just gonna log into my account, and I'm gonna go to Doctors or MD campaign. I'm just gonna name it Maps and continue. Okay. Now I have the campaign here. Now I do not have any leads, right? So all I have to do is I'm gonna go back to my system, and now if I refresh this, it's going to be MD campaigns, and the leads email is going to be the result that we sent. The company name is going to be basically the results, and the personalization is going to be the dream email. The website is going to be basically the domain, and click save. Auto align this, save this, and now basically I'm going to resend the data again. So I'm just going to first of all run this, run once. And I'm gonna generate everything, and I just added my lead to my Instantly. If I go back to leads, I'm gonna have the lead here. Now if I just type in personalization, review, so hey, came across New York doctrines, figured out reach out, so I have the copy here. So I can essentially in the subject line say, hey, I can say, need more patients, for example, right? And I can just essentially save this and start my campaign, reach out to those people with this great offer. Awesome. So let's try this on essentially, I don't know, like 10 leads, just because I love you guys and I want to waste my tokens. So click limit and click save. And we forgot to add something. Now, we want to make sure we have a filter here. So only if the email is valid. So condition and found exists. So exists. Click save, and then only if the website exists. Okay, so run once, first one is added, and I believe we need to do something else. Wait, so let me force stop this, and then first of all we need to immediately as data is sent. So as you guys can see, so we sent that data. Now the webhook has that data like holding it. So I'm just gonna delete all data. Delete, and now I can just save this and go back. So you can just leave this empty, right? So you can just go ahead and do things, I don't know, like do whatever you have to do during the day, and then all I have to do now is just save this and run once. So now we're gonna receive it. So again, we're sending that data. Second one is being added. So 4, 5. Only if the email is valid. So now you guys understand why we split the system in two. So it takes like 2 to 3 seconds. Now imagine it's like 3,000 leads. So now we understand why. So I've managed to send all that data into Instantly. Okay.
So there you have it. You have now a fully automated sales system that you can basically sell from 2, 3, 4,000 all the way to $10,000, depending on the client that you're working with and depending on their budget, how much they're spending to acquire one customer. So yeah, I'm going to leave the free blueprint in the description like always. Make sure to check out Sales Systems Mastery, the most straightforward way to make a living basically and acquire your first customer as a sales team agency owner and eventually hit 10K. As you guys know, the AI and automation wave is already in 2025, and people who can capitalize, just like crypto back then, can actually make money and achieve financial freedom. So what we do inside is essentially leverage the real juice of AI and automation to build systems that actually make money, right? Not automating bullshit articles or automating tasks that really don't drive any revenue or drive nothing to your bottom line. So thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.